My name is Ethan Walker. I'm 29 years old, and I live in Jackson, Mississippi, USA. If someone had told me that a single ride home on New Year's Eve would change my life forever, I would have laughed. Now, I don't drive Highway 61 after midnight. This happened on December 31st, 2025. I had spent the evening at my cousin's house outside Vicksburg. Around 12:40 a.m., I said goodbye and started the hour-long drive back home. The weather had turned ugly. A freezing rain covered the highway, and patches of fog drifted across the road. There were almost no cars. Just me, the sound of my tires, and an old country song playing softly through the speakers. About 20 minutes into the drive, I noticed something strange. A woman stood beside the highway. She wore a long gray coat that looked far too thin for the weather. She wasn't waving. She wasn't using a phone. She simply stood there, staring at the road. I slowed down. Every instinct told me to keep driving, but she looked cold and terrified. I rolled the passenger window down a few inches. "Are you okay?" I asked. Without answering, she slowly turned her head toward me. Her face looked completely normal, except for her eyes. They were filled with tears, but she never blinked. "My car broke down," she said quietly. "My phone died. Can you take me to the next town?" I hesitated. Then I unlocked the doors. She climbed into the passenger seat without saying another word. The moment the door closed, the temperature inside my truck dropped. I turned the heater all the way up. Nothing changed. It felt like I had left every window open in the middle of winter. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. Finally, I asked, "What's your name?" She looked straight ahead. "Claire." "Where are you headed?" She paused. "Home." "Where's home?" She smiled faintly. "You'll see." Something about that answer made my stomach tighten. About 10 minutes later, I glanced at the fuel gauge. It had been almost full when I left. Now, it was below half. That made no sense. I had barely driven 30 miles. I convinced myself the cold weather was affecting the gauge. Then my phone rang. It was my cousin. I answered using Bluetooth. "Ethan." His voice sounded panicked. "Tell me you haven't picked up anyone." I looked at Claire. She was still staring through the windshield. "Why?" "Because the sheriff just posted an emergency warning." My heart skipped. "They're looking for a woman walking along Highway 61. I laughed nervously. "What did she do?" There was a long silence. Then my cousin whispered, "They found a family murdered at a rest stop about an hour ago." I felt every muscle in my body freeze. The only witness said a woman in a gray coat walked away from the scene. Slowly, very slowly, I turned toward Claire. She was smiling now, not at me, at the road ahead. Then she quietly said something that made my blood run cold. "They're blaming the wrong person." Before I could ask what she meant, every light inside my truck shut off. The dashboard, the radio, the headlights, everything. We were racing down a dark highway at 60 miles an hour with no lights at all. I slammed on the brakes. The truck skidded sideways across the wet pavement before stopping inches from a guardrail. My breathing was out of control. I reached for my phone. The screen was black. Dead. Claire slowly opened her door. "I told you," she whispered. "He's finally here." I looked through the windshield. About 50 yards ahead, a tall figure stood in the middle of the highway. It wasn't moving. It wasn't walking. It was simply waiting. Then, it lifted one impossibly long arm and pointed directly at my truck. The figure didn't move. It simply stood there in the middle of Highway 61, pointing at my truck. My heart pounded so hard I could barely breathe. I looked toward the passenger seat. Claire was gone. The door was still closed. There was no sound, no footsteps, no way she could have disappeared. I blinked several times, hoping I was imagining everything. Then my truck suddenly came back to life. The dashboard lit up, the headlights flashed on. The radio blasted loud static before going silent again. But the figure was gone. The road ahead was completely empty. I didn't wait another second. I slammed the truck into drive and sped away. For the next 15 minutes, I kept checking my mirrors. Nothing. No headlights, no cars, no Claire. Eventually, I reached a small 24-hour gas station near Jackson. The bright lights made me feel safe again. I parked and stumbled inside. The older cashier looked at my face and immediately asked if I was okay. I told him I thought someone had tried to scare me on the highway. His expression changed. "What highway?" he asked. "Highway 61. The color drained from his face. He slowly reached beneath the counter and pulled out an old newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Young woman dies while waiting for help on Highway 61. The picture showed a smiling woman wearing a grey coat. It was Claire. According to the article, her car had broken down on New Year's Eve 3 years earlier. She had called for roadside assistance. Before anyone arrived, a wanted killer driving a stolen pickup stopped instead. She was never seen alive again. The killer disappeared without a trace. My hands started shaking. If she died, I whispered, then who was in my truck? The cashier looked toward the highway through the front window. Some folks believe she still tries to warn people, but she's not warning them about herself. She's warning them about the man who killed her. Before I could answer, a state trooper's SUV pulled into the parking lot. The officer walked inside and asked if anyone had seen an old black pickup with no license plates. My blood froze. I slowly asked why. The officer replied, "We've received reports that the driver has been forcing people off Highway 61 tonight. He already attacked one family." As he spoke, I looked through the gas station window. Across the road, parked beneath a broken streetlight, was an old black pickup. The engine wasn't running, but someone was sitting behind the wheel, watching me. The officer noticed my reaction. He turned around. The pickup was gone. Without wasting another second, 2 patrol cars sped onto the highway. I stayed inside until sunrise. Before leaving, the cashier handed me the newspaper clipping. "Keep it," he said, "so you'll remember she saved your life." A week later, the police arrested a man nearly 60 miles away. He was driving an old black pickup with no license plates. Inside the truck, officers found weapons, bloody clothing, and several missing person belongings dating back years. The investigators never understood why he suddenly abandoned Highway 61 that night. I think I know. Someone stopped him. Every New Year's Eve now, I avoid that road completely. But sometimes, just after midnight, I still receive a weather alert on my phone. There isn't any storm. There isn't any warning. Only a single line appears on the screen. "Drive home safely, Claire." I always lock my doors, and I always whisper, "Thank you." Because some spirits don't haunt the living. Sometimes they protect them.